All right, another wonderful day here at Street Metal Concepts. You can see we're only about 3 days away from Christmas, and it's starting to get cold. Everybody's bundled up and they're working in the paint booth, getting ready to start doing some painting in there. We'll go in and talk to Sean and Pete here from just a second, and they're gonna have to hook a heater up in there because it's a little chilly. They can't do any painting without it being the right temperature. So stick around to Drive In Garage with Alan, and I hope you enjoy what you're seeing. These are the fenders and the doors for a 1970 Cuda. The guys are getting ready to paint. So, a little explanation. Why are you taping everything off if you're getting ready to paint it?
Basically, we're just doing the door jams right now, and the car will go back together and get the final finish.
So everything's got to be painted at once?
Yes, because all the metallic, this is a metallic car, so you can't spray a panel at a time that won't match.
Especially when we're in Florida and the weather can be like this. It could be 40 one day and then 70 the next day, and that'll make the paint lay out differently. Even if you use the same gun, same technique, you got to use different temperature reducers, and just because of the ambient temperature, the metallic and pearls will settle out differently, and they'll look great individually, but you put them together, it'll be like, oh.
Okay.
It's like, oops.
So if it wasn't a metallic paint, you could do it differently?
Yeah, I mean, I did my personal truck, the blue Tacoma, which is solid blue. I did that, like 3 Christmases ago, and it's the same thing. It's a different temperature every day, but solid color. I just painted all separately, stuck it together, and
so it's the amount of that metallic that's in the paint that determines on how you do it.
You can get away with it in some scenarios, but in a high-end car like this, it's not worth the risk. Yeah. You'll tape the panels with the soft edge, but then you'll run a little fine line right down the gap, so you're not blowing in a bunch of extra paint while you're doing it. And on like the last coat, you'll pull it off, and then it'll just feather so you don't have a hard transition.
Right, okay.
Because it'll leave a big nasty edge if you don't do it like that. You just got a hard line and it's crusty.
It looks terrible, yeah.
You can't do anything with it.
Right.
Yeah. The backside's undercoated, and we don't want that to get all crusty. So you gotta paper everything off.
Wow. This is the kind of stuff when you wonder why it takes so long for a car to be built. This is the kind of stuff this is why.
Yeah. Yep. If you want it to be this type of car.
Because of all the intensive labor that goes into it. All right, gentlemen, we'll enjoy your nice, cool weather here.
All right, sir. You too. Have a good day.
You too. This is the C10 build they're working on. And this thing is straight. Look at the body work that they've done on this. This is incredible. Steven's doing some wiring on it, and he was telling me he was having to pretty much figure it out as he's going. So Ian is working on this. What you doing to it, Ian?
I am replacing the wind wiper motor again.
Uh-oh.
The wiper motor, I guess the one we got was not working correctly.
It took a dump, huh?
Yeah, so
yeah.
pop a new one in it, and then just kind of do a little odds and ends. The new motor, there's a little bit of tweaking and stuff like that, like the radiator fan ever so slightly hits the fan or the shroud. So we're gonna adjust that, and then squeaky belt, just fine tuning of a new motor being put in.
So this did have a new motor put in it, didn't it?
This did, yeah.
Yeah. This is recent too.
Very recent. I think it was done last week or a week before. So just kind of going through it, making sure that all the cobwebs are worked out of it, and make sure the customer's very happy with it.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
What you got going on, Casey?
Oh, some thinking, Alan.
Yeah?
Brainstorming some dress panels.
Well, that's going to look cool on there. How are you going to build that?
Well, this is going to be another metal panel we're going to build like the rest of them, but then we're going to do this louver look with a bead roller, and we're going to keep the front line as a negative and bead roll the outside, and hopefully give it a false louver look just for some decoration.
To make it look 3D, correct?
Correct, yes sir.
And you're doing it on those panels and these side panels here. Any other panels?
No sir, these will be the only two. This one will be bead rolled The ones up here, that'll actually be a nicely laser cut trim piece with open louver windows that we're going to use the same mesh material that we use in the grill and possibly the scoop.
Awesome.
So it'll give it a little in-depth look, give it something cool, just a little dress up the side here so it ain't so plain.
Right. Something to catch your eye with.
Yes sir, yes sir. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a little practice piece. I'm gonna lay out one of these louver lines. I'm gonna put it on the bead roller and see if we can get the three-dimensional actual louver lip that we're looking for, and see if that works to our liking, and we'll go from there on the rest of the design. Lay out a few little louvers and see what we get.
Not every day I get to come up and see an artist work on metal. I enjoy watching you work, Casey.
It's a real honor to be in my presence. Make sure we can accomplish everything without completely warping our panel, creating less or more work for us in the long run on body work. Get our bead roller set up and we'll go ahead and run these tests and see what we can do. It's gonna be hard to do.
You have to use the Art Series bead.
Use 3 different style of dies at one time to create just a simple rollover to mock up the bottom rollover on a fender to match the 60s.
Right.
Just depends what you're looking for and how you use it.
Here is die set 2.
Fine like I want. I want that round 3D pop on this side. And this side's not going to have a line, it's just going to be this. So it should give it that 3-dimensional pop.
Try these.
'Cause that's the tightest corner, the other one will work.
All right, so he's going to try a couple of more dies here, and we'll see the finished product, and he'll show us which ones he likes the best when he's done with them. So it looks like he's found his pattern that he likes.
Yep, just a little bit of a round over there. Keep the negative on the front side. After this gets on some paint, it'll probably look exactly like what we're wanting.
Awesome. So you're going to do one more there? And
Yep, do one more here, and we'll go ahead and put her in the sandblaster and give her a little spray off and see what our final product looks like. Do a little hammering, straighten her out a little bit, put her in the sandblaster. got a little more aggressive depths and a softer one. I like the softer depth. Running the bead doesn't seem like it's gonna be a problem. Shoot, those pieces might still be.
Right.
You know what I mean? That might be another way, because we're gonna do that on the Camaro.
Right.
Same exact load. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a possibility.
Yeah.
That is the creative process. That is the two minds getting together to come up with a solution, and it's always evolving and it's always going in circles. And I just wonder if Zip making funny faces behind me. Alright, so we are going on a test drive in the Scout that just had the LS3 motor swap in it, and they've done some work to the undercarriage. They did, what'd you do to it? You put new transfer case in it, new transmission.
New transfer case, new transmission, new motor, new drive shafts, some leaf spring wedges, and new wheels.
Awesome. So
all that stuff.
this is this the final test drive on it, or?
More of a systems check.
Okay, all right.
E-brake works. Mostly I want to be able to get a feel of how easy you can spin the rears, lock the front in, and make sure the front is engaged and working. I don't like to test it on the cement, mostly because I haven't personally tested the four-wheel drive prior to pulling the entire powertrain out of it. So I don't know if somebody's done something different with the front and rear differentials. I don't want to lock them together and end up breaking something.
Now this interior was all made and put in here by Thomas. He designed the little shelves back there. He's got cell phone holders back there and a cup holder. Put a JL audio system in it. Underneath here is a subwoofer underneath this panel here. This is pretty nice setup in here.
Yeah, all the
it's got
speaker pockets, everything are all handmade.
Right, the wet sounds bar across there. Cool light up here. That's pretty cool. And of course this top was just made for it. Awesome. Tell me about that motor you had to put in here.
It's a LS3. It's 430 horsepower, 420 foot-pounds of torque, 4-speed automatic. It's got 350 gear ratio in the axles. And in this light little truck, this thing hauls ass.
Yeah, I bet it does.
It has so much power behind it. It doesn't.
What'd you say the horsepower was?
430 horsepower.
And you said this thing probably weighs about 3,000 pounds?
Yeah, I would bet that it's probably only 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
This thing gets down. It moves.
Oh,
It's,
wow.
I'm a guy who likes power, and I feel that there's too much power in this truck.
Really?
Yes. I'm one of the ones that like more is better, and I found the one vehicle I'm like, this is perfectly fine. Doesn't need anything more. Okay, let's see if we can find a soft surface.
Right there. Gonna give the rear tires a spin. Yep.
It hooked up a lot better than I thought it was.
Yep, hooked up pretty good. All right, the hubs are locked.
Changing at times. Perfect. What I needed. Yep. Too high. Back up. I would say that's a win.
No, the mud you kicked up made it inside the vehicle?
None of it made it inside. I mean, it's on the rail out here,
Right?
and it's on the hood, but
It's not it.
nothing's inside.
So what's your opinion? Did everything work right?
Everything works good. I'm
Awesome.
impressed.
right, so the final part of this test drive is to get it out on a highway and get it up to about 55, 60 and see how she rides like that. So we're going to take it out on 415 and see what it'll do. Seems okay. Doesn't do anything weird. I don't want the customer to hit it and it's torque steer or do something and something happened. Okay. 3, 2, 1, launch.